sure the mic is working before we go live. During the intro song, I'll sing over it a little bit.
You want me scared, you want me weak, you want me brain dead and asleep. You want us trapped while you all laugh behind the scenes. You want us sick, you think we're dumb. You want us blind and you want us drunk. You want us poor while you get more of everything. But you don't get to tell me what to think and what to do. No, you don't get to tell me what is true. You're just liars, cheats, and crooks. Change the rules and you burn the books. And so I don't believe a single word you say. You're all liars, fakes, and cons. Want you out and we want you gone. So don't believe this time you'll get away. You want us tricked, you want us numb. You want us scared and you want us stung. You want us shot and you want us fought in every way. You want our minds, you want our time. You want us framed up in your crime. I hope you know that it's time to go and we're taking names. 'Cause you don't get to tell us.
Locals, I'm talking to you. Can you hear me now?
No, you don't get to tell us what is true.
Going into the locals.
You're just liars, cheats, and crooks. Change the
I
rules
talk
and
over
you
the
burn
music.
the books.
Are you listening
So
to my
we don't
sweet
believe
radio
a
voice?
single word you say. You're all liars, fakes, and cons. Want you out and we
No,
want
they
you
can't hear me.
gone.
That's a
So
bad sign.
don't believe this
Yes,
time
they can hear me.
you'll
Thumbs
get
up.
away.
Amazing. You figured it out. This is
We
sweet
say
stuff.
la 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 all your life. La 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 all your life.
My ugly face while I do this.
You don't get to tell
Camera's
us
too low. Hold
what
on.
to think and
Good afternoon,
what
everybody.
to do.
Cranky.
You don't
Angry.
get to
Tired.
tell us what to think and what
Down.
to
Okay.
do.
Let's go.
You don't get
Good enough.
to tell us what
5 times August, people. Opening music.
and what to do. You're just liars, cheats, and crooks. Change the rules and
I
you
love this
burn
song.
the books.
It's not my
So
favorite
we don't
5 times
believe
August
a
song. My
single
5 times
word you
August
say.
favorite song is
You're all liars,
God Help
fakes
Us All.
and cons. Want you out and we want you gone. So
That's my
don't believe this
message.
time you'll get away. 'Cause we say la 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 all your
We'll talk about it,
life.
Stephen.
La 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 all your life. 'Cause we're just liars, cheats, and crooks. Change the rules and you burn
You can get this song on Apple Music. Liars, Cheats, and Crooks. My 5 times August. A friend of mine, the man we needed the aid. I know people say music is subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I disagree when it comes to certain things. Avocado objectively tastes good. Steak objectively tastes good. Liver is disgusting. And this song is fantastic. Good afternoon. It is afternoon, people. I'm cranky. I'm tired. I'm irritable. I went to the doctor this morning. Everything is fine. Although we're going to go. No, there's no although. Everything is fine. But I'm still tired, cranky, irritable. And the state of the world is driving me up a freaking wall this morning. There's the old expression that, what do they say? Like your perspective of the world should be divided into thirds. So like a third of the time, things should be making you angry. A third of the time, you should be feeling bad. A third of the time you should be feeling neutral, and a third of the time you should be feeling good. This too shall pass, and we will fight through the irritability and try to cover the breaking news, which will also add to your overall irritability. But we'll start with a bit of a laugh. I had it up on the lineup yesterday. Where did I put it? Yeah. At least the mic is working today, right? So we've solved one problem. I put the link out to here. I'll bring this up. I have a very funny brother who follows me on Twitter, and he said, "Viva, I would not have made fun of this man. I would have referred to this man as Mr. Mitchell and not have called him wrong." Where is it here? Oh yes, it was Trump's. It was the Republicans against Trump, who are going to come up with some amazingly stupid crap. Like whenever an MMA fighter says something in support of Trump, they come out and say MMA fighters are just a bunch of brain dead idiots. But when they come out and say something against Elon Musk, then they become the heroes of the anti-Trumpers. Listen to this.
I think that time will prove me correct. Time will always reveal someone's true character. And if you put that man in a position of power, his true character will be revealed. And let's just put it this way. He has all the money in this country. He's the wealthiest man in the country, and he wasted on rockets, man. Think about it, dude. He could actually help people with that money, but he don't give a about you. He's got all the money in the world to help you. It'd be a penny to him, and you would never have to work again. He don't give a about you, though. He wants to waste it on rockets and waste it on all these cars that suck. And time will reveal the character of that man. And the more he gets under the spotlight, you can't fake it forever. His character will be revealed, and you mark my words, it will be seen that he is a rat. And, if I had all that money, I would like to think I would help people more than he does.
Now, I feel bad because it might have been something that he said that was stupid in the moment, got carried away, said more than he intended to, and this should not define this man. I think his last name is Mitchell. I forget what his name is. But what a wildly stupid thing to say. And my brother says, Viva, you should call him Mr. Mitchell and agree with him wholeheartedly, because obviously this man could make jello of my overall body. Maybe I could put up a fight for about 5 seconds. And by fight, I mean run away and scream like a girl before I have my ass beaten. I'm being tongue-in-cheek. I'm actually quite strong, but I just never been in a fight. If you have to say time will reveal, it means that you don't have current evidence to support your theory. If you have to make predictions about character, it means that you are reading into people and you are imputing intentions. And that is just 2 of the 3 flawed logical mistakes made by this gentleman in this speech. I'll get to a comment in a second. The third mistake is wasting. Well, let's just wait. He has enough money. He could give you money and you would be good for the rest of your life. I can tell you a couple of things from lived experience. There's no other type of experience. Money without direction will only lead a person down a bad path. B, he can help one individual. He can help a ton of individuals by giving them money. You're not helping anybody. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a meal. Teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. What was that on 1s or 2? I was doing A's, B's, and C. Even if you were to say, okay, fine, you could solve one person's life by giving them $1 million, all of their problems. What do? You raffle off random donations to people with your money, as opposed to arguably and potentially helping humanity as a whole. Wasting money on rockets is probably the most grotesque oversimplification of what Elon is doing with rockets. Wasting money on shitty cars is probably the most grotesque oversimplification of what electric vehicles can do. I do not think they are all the solution to energy problems. But anybody calling a Tesla a shitty car is wrong, as a matter of fact. Anybody suggesting electric cars are a waste of money, wrong, as a matter of fact. And what he's doing for free speech, it's not just good in the present, and it's not just good for one person, it's good for humanity as a whole. And but for Elon Musk's acquisition of X and Chris Pavlovski's management of Rumble, you might be living under a Biden-Harris regime right now. What was the other thing I was about to say? Elon Musk, money to support people. It's going to come in a second. Oh, it was free speech. Damn it, I had built it out so perfectly in order to come to the punchline of Elon Musk. The bottom line, it's a silly thing that he said, and forgive, forget, but try to teach someone the error in their ways. What was it? It was Elon Musk with all of his money. Oh, yes, that was the ultimate punchline. The problems that Mitchell is complaining about that aren't solved, that he says Elon Musk could solve with all his money, they're not being not solved because of a lack of resources. You don't need to go steal Elon Musk's privately acquired wealth in order to solve the problems that the current government is ignoring, is traitorously neglecting, and shipping the monies that they had, that they've pulled out of the pockets of tax-paying Americans that's supposed to solve these problems, and shipping it to their corrupt foreign wars. That was the issue. The inability to solve the problems that Mitchell is talking about has nothing to do with Elon Musk deciding what to do with his own personal wealth as he sees fit, which is still in the best interest of humanity. It has to do with the government derelicting of their duty to do it with the monies that they've stolen from your back pocket, from your hard-earned tax dollars. I know what I paid by way of taxes since having come to America. The idea of paying taxes and being proud to do it is so that you help your brethren, your citizens, your community, not so that you get robbed, blindsided, and have your money stolen from you so that it can be siphoned off to fund foreign conflicts and to fund foreign corrupt regimes. And with that said, I would like to wholeheartedly say that I endorse that man's UFC mixed martial arts career. I understood he took a very serious knockout to the British guy last year, and maybe he maybe he'll come back from that. All right, Charles Snow says, what is the Candace Owens thing? We'll get to it on the menu today because the news is breaking, but we're going to get to our sponsors first. Chrystia Freeland has resigned from the Trudeau government, but she didn't just do it in a way that is respectful to Trudeau. What she did was now I'm going to steal Bongino's double-barreled middle finger. No, what she did was a single-barreled middle finger to Justin Trudeau, but history doesn't repeat, but it tends to rhyme. I'm going to draw some parallels between Chrystia Freeland's resignation today and Jody Wilson-Raybould's removal from Trudeau's office. What was the other thing that we're going to talk about? It was the fight that someone said, Viva, you should probably take a break from social media. Maybe. The frustration might have to do with trying to have rational discussions with irrational people on the internet. And you try, and they grind you down, Viva. But before we get, so is Candace Owens the #1 anti-Semite of the year, according to some bullshit Twitter feed? And my answer to that is no. Enough with the accusations of anti-Semitism. It has become not just meaningless, but absolutely achieving the exact opposite impact of the intended or desired impact. But before we even get there, because it is the holiday season, people, are we going to be able to do this? Can I play this here while we do this? Oh, yes. There you go. The holidays are here, which means it's sick season, sinus infection, strep throat, upper respiratory hacking. Everyone is traveling and passing it around, and I got to go to Canada, which might be part of the stress. And I know I'm going to get a sinus infection the day I land. But guess what? You don't have to deal with it, folks. Why? Because a little blue case at your mobile fingertips is your urgent care thing that you can take on the road with you, but you can't get it in Canada, unfortunately. It has ivermectin, Z-Pak, amoxicillin, 6 other prescription medications at your fingertips. Thanks to the Wellness Company's medical emergency kit, you can tackle anything severe your body comes across without it ruining your holiday plans or driving you to emergency or urgent care. The kit cuts through the red tape by allowing you to take control of your health versus being reactive and inconvenienced during precious family time. You don't need a gatekeeper because their medical board created a guidebook that outlines common treatments for UTIs, urinary tract infections, I believe, strep throat, bacterial infections, respiratory illness, and more. All it takes is filling out a digital intake form. Your kit arrives in 1 to 2 weeks right to your front door. Travel with peace of mind this holiday season. Order your kit now. Go to twc.health/Viva. Promo code will get you $30 off and free shipping. It is only available to U.S. residents. Unfortunately, I would check. I mean, I think you can. I don't know if you can bring it over the border if you're going to Canada, if that's your issue, but it's only available to USA residents, unfortunately. And it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing product. Now, the other coffee, people, like I said this morning, I had my coffee, but I was going for another round of caffeine this afternoon. 1775 Coffee is a Rumble partner, and it's delicious coffee, especially the mushroom blend. And it is time to make mornings great again. If your coffee tastes like it's been passed through the same filter as mainstream media headlines, and we're going to get into, oh my goodness, the other thing, CNN. There's no excuse. It's stupid, treasonous, dishonest, and or all three. You deserve better. Enter 1775 Vitality Coffee, not just coffee, but brain fuel for anyone who refuses to settle for mediocrity. Lion's Mane and Reishi sharpen your focus faster than a Twitter argument with a blue check mark. Cordyceps powers your energy without the crash, and their handpicked Bolivian beans deliver flavor so bold it makes corporate coffee look like decaf at a Biden fundraiser. Weak, pointless, and forgetting why it's even there. No filters, no woke nonsense, just coffee that's unapologetically rebellious, just like you, proudly backed by Rumble, the platform that stands for freedom and freedom of speech. Head over to 1775coffee.com. Promo code VIVA gets you 15% off. Make mornings great again with coffee that stands for bold flavor, uncompromising quality, and the freedom that Rumble fights for every day. Strong, bold coffee. Like me. All right. The links are in the description. Check them out and thank our sponsors for today's show. What do we want to start with? Well, first of all, let me start with, see if there's any, oh yeah, look at this. We're going to start with these. Pin. Viva, love your show. I've developed an audience building tool that hyper boosts reach. Want to give it to you and your Rumble and other podcasters? Let us know we can speak. Let me screen grab that and I'll reach out to you after the show. And then we got Roostang over in our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community. Viva, if as you often purport Canada's goose is cooked, when can we expect you to leave Canada entirely, as Dr. Jordan Peterson has, to more than admire the American eagle and choose wholeheartedly to embrace the American way of life? Roostang, I will say, we'll see what the future holds, but I would say that taking your four doors off a Bronco and driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour is just about as, the only way it could have been more American. No, I won't even go there. All right, let's start by making fun of the mainstream media. Do we go mainstream media, legacy media? I mean, what do we, propagandists? Is God-forsaken using the Lord's name in vain? God-forsaken is another word. I mean, the word God is in there, but the word God is in Godfrey as well. Is God-forsaken taking the Lord's name in vain, people? Let me know in our locals community, and I will govern my behavior accordingly. I gotta show you this. The news of the day. I don't know who we'll get to the journalist's name. CNN is basically caught red-handed, not just being wrong, like basically being propagandists for terrorist regimes. What's the woman's name? We're going to get to this in how long is this? This is 1 minute and 28 seconds. Fine. It's the right one. They're basically caught red-handed, not just being wrong, but being propagandists for terrorist regimes. Understand that. And those mother effers want to call us, and I say us, and I'll include myself in that, you know, the Viva Freis of the world, the Tim Pools of the world, the Benny Johnsons of the world. They want to call us the propagandists, disinformation, purveyors of misinformation, malinformation, whatever the hell they want to call it now. This video purports to show the moment the journalist, you'll get her name, she's known for being a propagandist liar, arrives at a Syrian prison to release an alleged Syrian prisoner who has allegedly been in prison for 3 months. And you just watch the video and just take notes of everything that would raise a red flag to someone with half a freaking brain. And the problem is, not only did it not raise a flag for everyone in this video who apparently doesn't have half a freaking brain, anybody who watched it afterwards, who then said, yeah, cut, produce, send it, didn't have the flags go up either. Watch this.
Clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there?
Someone there?
I thought I saw it move. Is someone there?
Is someone there? Hello? This is like out of The Ring or out of Scream, but even worse. Okay, let's see what's happening here. I would be nervous. Well, I won't. Huh, someone is there. Oh my goodness, you didn't hear us?
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
I'm a civilian, he says. Clean, well-dressed, not gaunt or emaciated. Oh, do you see her behind the thing here? Do you see her behind the door? Look at this actor. Oh, wait, where was it? Here. Oh.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
He says he's been in the cell for 3 months. I don't want to be crass, and I'm not trying to minimize anything. There's no but to that. If he had been in that cell for 3 months, there would be fecal matter in that cell. There would be an odor. There would be trash in that cell. That cell looks cleaner than my studio.
Okay, you're okay.
You're okay. He looks like he hasn't eaten in 3 months.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands. Okay. Does anyone have any water?
I'm thinking of a Malcolm X quote right now, and I think you know exactly which one. By the way, okay, so just pay attention to everything.
Mike. Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay, you're okay.
This is so bad, it can't be real. It cannot be real life.
You're okay.
It's so bad, it cannot be real life. Simply, Syrian prisoner freed by CNN last week is Salama Mohammed Salama, notorious Assad regime torturer. Okay, so that's from End Wokeness. Well, I'm going to leave it up here for a few seconds. Could you identify every single obvious problem with that? The person, you only know it after the fact, is purported to have been there for 3 months, and the cell is like has been well swept. It's not even that it's not full of filth. And you know, we've talked to a number of the Jan 6ers who've been in solitary. It's not just not full of filth. It's that floor is impeccably clean. The man purports to not hear them while they're screaming his name. He wakes up. His clothing is not wrinkled. It's not soiled. It's not dirty. He doesn't appear to look in any way, shape, or form gaunt, mistreated whatsoever. Well kept. His beard is nice and trimmed. I mean, I don't know how you trim a beard if you've been in solitary for 3 months or locked up for 3 months. Some people were rightly pointing out, let's go to the hand, a nice manicure, or at least I don't know if it's a manicure. You know, hands are clean. Fingernails are well kept. I don't know what a manicure looks like. I've never had one. But the fingernails are clean. And then he's drinking water.
Okay, it's water.
Oh. It's impossible that anybody could have been so stupid. It's impossible they could think their viewers are so freaking stupid that they believe this. And then you come over here and the CNN, this is from the New York Post, helped free from the CNN helped free the prisoner, because I'm an idiot. CNN helped free from prison was actually a notorious Assad regime torturer report. The prisoner CNN helped free from the facility in Syria was actually a notorious member of Bashar al-Assad's forces, known to torture those who refused to pay him off, according to shocking local fact check. Network went viral last week with its footage. One of the most extraordinary witnesses ever. Her name is Clarissa Ward. Hello, Clarissa. How does it feel to expect us to swallow your garbage like it's liver with a bottle of Chianti? It's just unbelievable. The independent and unbiased fact checkers Verify C published a detailed report Sunday saying that the seemingly innocent prisoner was actually Salama Mohammed Salama, a first lieutenant in Syrian Air Force intelligence with a long history of alleged war crimes. Quote, we have subsequently been investigating his background and are aware that he may have given a false identity. They say, CNN acknowledges to the Post, we are continuing our report into this wider story. Now they were saying, look, he's been in there for 3 months. He looks up to the sky, but he doesn't flinch. Those are not I don't know what a human reacts like if they've been locked up in solitary for 3 months or locked up in a cell for 3 months. And then we get into the description. He gave his name as Abel Gourbral and claimed to have been arrested by the government authorities 3 months earlier. Said he had no idea the Assad regime had collapsed. The fact checkers, however, noted that he appeared well-groomed, physically healthy, with no visible injuries or signs of torture, an incongruous portrayal of someone allegedly held in solitary confinement in the dark for 90 days. He didn't flinch when he looked up at the sky, yada, yada. Okay. They said that they found there was no record of Adel Gourbal in the region, leading to his true identity, Salama, said the outlet. Abu Hamza Salama, he worked at several checkpoints in Homs, involved with theft, extortion, coercion of residents into becoming informants for Assad. Local residents told the fact. You know what the irony is? Had they done their freaking homework, the real story would have probably supported the narrative more than their pathological lie. If he's an Assad torturer, allegedly, that would probably support public sentiment to support the overthrow of the Assad regime. And then you don't hail this guy as a victim of the Assad regime. You put him on blast as a perpetrator of the atrocities of the Assad regime. But they can't even think through their propaganda beyond the point of expecting people to believe the absurd. He killed civilians during the war of 2014, allegedly detained and tortured young men on bogus charges, many of whom refused to pay bribes. Verify Sai reported. Locals claimed he was locked up in the prison where he was discovered for less than a month due to a dispute with the okay, whatever. Salama was freed by the rebel fighters, fed a meal, later taken to the MTs. CNN denies the allegations that the piece was fabricated. Quote, no one other than the CNN team was aware of our plans to visit the prison featured in this report. The events transpired as they appear in our film. So congratulations. You didn't, what was the word? You didn't fabricate the piece. You're just God-forsaken idiots. Period. Full stop. And these are the same outlets: MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, that want to call other outlets and other independent, more reliable content creators, reporters, journalists, whatever you want to call them, the misinformation, disinformation, malinformation. Ganthit over in our vivabarneslaw.locals.com community. Viva, when it comes to swearing and morals, that's between you and your beliefs. There are as many religions as there are stars in the sky. You seem to be a person of conscience. Let your heart guide you. I just want to know if God-forsaken is considered by any to use the Lord's name in vain, because it's a different word and it's one word. It's not abbreviated. It's not hyphenated, like Godfrey Jones from Rock Bottom. All right, so that was the fun story. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Hold on, I'm just looking in CombiTube to see if I'm not missing anything, and I'm not. And let me go over to Rumble to see if I'm missing anything, and I am not. Don't forget to have clean underwear on, just in case, says Duro. Let me see. I'm just going to read some of the chat here. That's hot. You can see his beard is well trimmed within a few days. Spiteful man. I mean, it's amazing. First of all, I don't believe that they didn't know, because it's not possible anybody can be so stupid. Also, I don't believe that, like, let me be politically incorrect. We're going to get into it later. I don't believe that, like, white female journalists would deliberately take the risk of going into allegedly, potentially torturous prison cells just for a story. I don't believe that anybody would do that if they thought it was actually what they were saying it was. So I don't believe that Clarissa Ward would even do that if she sincerely thought that she was heading into a prison where they were detaining people for several months. So I believe that CNN was absolutely in on it, if only through willful blindness. But that the fact that they think their audience is so stupid to fall for that, it's a testament to everything, everybody, and I will be ad hominem. Every idiot who watches CNN for actual news unironically. I watch CNN to know thy enemy, know what they're saying, know the bullshit that they're putting out there. But her head was not covered, says M. May. That's another thing that I was actually noticing. The whole thing is a pile of shit. I mean, they should really be not removed from the airwaves. They should not get any benefits whatsoever, and defund CNN. I don't know if they get CNN. Wasn't that the same journalist who smelled? She did have. That's from Bill Brown. Wasn't she the same journalist who smelt the poisonous gas in Syria a few years back, where we believe that was a possible false flag? Clarissa Ward video. Let me see, because there was another one. I'll see if I can find it within the next couple of seconds. Right here. Here we go. It's from Luke Rudkowski. Let me take this down, where he says Clarissa Ward is a grade A psychopath. And I agree. Here, look at this. Here we go. She's got her puppy dog. Look how beautiful I am. What's it called? It's the half open pout. It's like the face. You see this in, go to a mall and look at every model in every display on every billboard. They got the half open mouth. Let's see what she has to say in this video.
Clarissa is on the ground right now. Clarissa, tell us what's happening.
Stand by.
Hi, John. So forgive me, I have a slightly unelegant position, but we have just had a
Can't move your arm?
massive barrage of rockets coming in here, not too far from us. So we have had to take shelter here by the roadside. We're just about 5 minutes away. Gaza is in that direction. We can hear now a lot of jets in the sky. We could also hear the Iron Dome intercepting a number of those rockets. As
I'm gonna pull. It's so nauseating. It's so nauseating because the reality is, just being there without being that much of a liar is already dangerous enough, where most people would say thank you for being on site, because I'm not going to Gaza or even Israel for that matter to report. What an actual joke. Yeah, on the ground. Her arm has a camera and mic. Heavy breathing, low budget. Oh, it's fear porn. It's propaganda porn, is what it is. All right, well, that's what's going on there. Okay. We'll do the Candace Owens story over on Rumble, not because we can't do it on YouTube. And in fact, I will publish that segment specifically on YouTube afterwards, just to, what's the word? Not entice everyone to head on over to Rumble when we go there exclusively for the second portion of the show. Where is her helmet, says Gypsy Muse. I think her helmet fell off. She was using her helmet for water, for prisoners that she was freeing. Okay, the comments over on vivabarneslaw.locals.com are wild. All right, the news of the day coming out of Canada, for those of you who care. Chrystia Freeland, who I will dare say has more loyalty to her, I won't say it's her homeland because I think Crystia was born in Canada, but her ancestral land, who seems to have more loyalty to the folks of Ukraine than to the folks of Canada that she was elected to represent. She is resigning. Chrystia Freeland was the Minister of Finance, I want to say. She was like the second most powerful person in Canada. Some people hypothesized that she was the first most powerful person in Canada. She's resigned, and we're going to go through her letter in a second, but I want to start a little bit earlier than this because you may or may not know, I don't know how Chrystia Freeland identifies, but I believe biologically she's a woman. So we now have yet another situation of a woman in a position of power under Justin Trudeau's regime resigning, although as you're going to see when we get through that letter, she was actually demoted and then would not approve or would not tolerate the demotion and thus had to resign in a way that I think reflects very poorly on Justin Trudeau. But what you have is another member of Justin Trudeau's government who happens to be a woman, being ousted, chased out, forced out, resigning from Justin Trudeau's administration. Why do I bring up sex, gender? I don't play these games of identity politics. Full stop. Justin Trudeau does. And just last week, Justin Trudeau, don't read it. Don't read it. Here we go. Justin Trudeau came out last week and touted what a feminist Justin Trudeau is. Listen to this scumbag POS.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be
I'm sorry, by the way.
No, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
Has everybody seen the movie Howard Stern, Private Parts? I know everybody hates Howard Stern, and rightly so. The movie, however, was great. Maybe it was great because it just brings back memories of childhood. There was that scene in the movie when Howard Stern goes to the radio station. Let me see if I can find it. He goes to get a new job, and there's an Israeli owner of the radio station, and the guy comes in, Howard Stern, Private Parts, you're fired. Let me see if I can find this scene quickly. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. He says, the owner of the radio station calls the guy and he says, you showed up late yesterday. You show up late today. I don't need you. You're fired. And then the guy looks at his boss and goes, fuck you. When I listen to Trudeau talk, that is the immediate thing that comes to my mind. F you, you absolute lying scumbag. Is this it? Let me see if I can get it. I think I may have found it. It's worth watching, even though Howard Stern has absolutely desecrated his here we go. I got it. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, it's so good to have a memory. Okay, hold on. Just so that we're gonna get this out of here. Pull this out and let's watch. It's one of the best scenes from the movie. Howard Stern's first job interview. Here we go. Check this out. WRNW. And now we're gonna get claimed. You know, it's so terrible. We're gonna get claimed on YouTube because it's playing 10 seconds. All right, so that's what goes through my mind. And just imagine it every time I hear Justin Trudeau talk, but especially when I hear Justin Trudeau talk about what a feminist he is. I will always be an ally to women, even the ones that I grope on the boobies. Where did I just put? Where did I put that? I want to bring that thing back up. Even the ones that I. Did I not? Did I close it? I closed it, and I said, just an FYI, everybody. Justin Trudeau is not a feminist. He's actually quite literally an abuser in a, let's just say, spiritual sense of women. Many of you don't, know because you've watched the channel. 2000, he apologized for having groped a reporter at some music event. He elbowed an NDP, a New Democrat Party woman, in the boob. Touch her boob? That's assault, brother. It's assault, brother, when you do with your elbow in some tiff in Parliament. That's Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau fired Jody Wilson-Raybould, we're going to get to that in a second, because she would not adhere to his corrupt demands to not prosecute his corrupt buddies at SNC-Lavalin, which is an international construction conglomerate. Justin Trudeau is such a feminist. I mean, I guess he is a feminist because, he believes in locking women up even harsher than you lock men up. And this one goes back quite a while back. Look at this. Here, bear in mind, people, Howard Stern. Listen to Justin Trudeau talk here for a second.
Mépris pour les droits de la personne en Iran n'est pas quelque chose.
His disdain for the mistreatment of rights in Iran is not. He objects to it.
De nouveau. In the wake of the horrific downing of PS 752, the Iranian regime refused to be held accountable, but our government was and is relentless in the pursuit of justice for the families of the victims.
Get to the.
We will stop at nothing.
Get to the part where you talk about
that this regime
treatment
is held to account, and that we will support the families until justice is served. We've seen Iran disregarding human rights time and time again. And now we see it with the death of Mahsa Amini and the crackdown on protests. To the women in Iran who are protesting and to those who are supporting you, we stand with you.
Fuck you, Justin Trudeau. You remember this? All of a sudden, Justin Trudeau's concerned about brutal regimes cracking down on women rights, particularly women protesters. That's Tamara Leach, everybody. You may remember her from such protest. Oh, by the way, a woman, quite clearly, half Aboriginal, which is half Native American, locked up for several weeks on nonviolent mischief charges for having participated in the organization of the Ottawa trucker protest. This mother effer is the most gaslighting, abusive narcissist imaginable. And he touts himself as being a feminist and an ally of women, while literally, historically, allegedly groping them because he apologized for it, literally, not allegedly, demoting them and firing them when they refused to adhere to his corrupt demands, literally, not metaphorically, locking up women for participating in peaceful protest, and literally, not metaphorically, what was the other one? That's pretty much it. No, there's some other rumors which I don't repeat because they're not yet able to be substantiated. So now we're going to bring it all the way back to Chrystia Freeland right after, just to refresh everybody's memory here. Hold on, I'll bring this one back because the pattern here, we're going to read the letter and just tie it into exactly what he did with Jody Wilson-Raybould. But BAC Bruce High says that was a chest milk generating device. And Steph Gray over on Rumble says, feminine, yes. Yeah, Trudeau is feminine. All right, let's get to the letter. Holy crab apples, Chrystia Freeland just resigned. It's a little bit tough to read, but let's hear it. This is December 16 today, and I verified this is legit, people. Dear Prime Minister, it has been an honor of my life. It has been the honor of my life to serve in government, working for Canada and Canadians. We've accomplished a lot together. Oh, yeah. Much like Joe Biden has accomplished a lot. Destroying a country. On Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Do you know what that is in employment terms? I'm not saying it is under, government terms. That would be what we would call constructive dismissal. Hey, Minister of Finance, Chrystia Freeland, would you like to clean the toilets? Well, no. Well, oh, geez, you don't really want to take that crappy job. It's your choice. No, I quit. And that would be constructive dismissal, presumably because there's a substantial modification of what her title was, and she didn't want the demotion down from Minister of Finance, because I'm not really sure what it could have been that would have been a promotion. And now, you know what, with that said, so understanding that it's a demotion and not a promotion of a woman in his cabinet, now you're going to understand something that went on with Jody Wilson-Raybould. In hindsight, we now understand that it was a firing by another name. At the time, talk about state-run propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, the CBC, Canada Broadcasting Corporation, a crown corporation, which receives its funding from the government. Whatever government is in power, it receives it from the federal government, but just so happens that Trudeau's been in power since 2015. Their propaganda at the time was that Jody Wilson-Raybould was shuffled from the Minister of Justice and Attorney General, which is arguably among the most powerful positions in Canadian politics. She was shuffled to Veterans Affairs, and she was replaced by a white man. Justin Trudeau, the true feminist, kicks out the women when they don't do what he says and replaces them with white men. Look at that effing face. Holy hell. Can a face get more annoying than that? I would say it would be very, very difficult. But yeah, the feminist demotes the woman and then she quits. And then the state-run propaganda runs it as, oh, she's moved to Veterans Affairs and replaced. Well, the reality is that she was demoted to the point where it was clear that she was being fired. And then this led to Justin Trudeau's second ethics violation. Canada Minister Jody Wilson-Raybould resigns amid SNC-Lavalin. This was about a month after she was shuffled out. This, by the way, everyone also knows, this led to Justin Trudeau's second ethics complaint because it was successfully proven and demonstrably proven that Justin Trudeau corruptly interfered with Jody Wilson-Raybould's judicial independence when she decided to proceed with prosecuting the construction conglomerate SNC-Lavalin, and Justin Trudeau was found to have put undue pressure on her independent judicial opinion to do that, and then he shuffles her out, which was an actual firing, and he's done it yet again, people, and this time it's with Chrystia Freeland. And we're going to get to the, what does this mean and where does this go? Okay, here we go. Check this out. On Friday, he told me you no longer wanted me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. Upon reflection, and by the way, this is a big public FU to Justin Trudeau. Upon reflection, I have concluded that the only honest and viable path for me is to resign from the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the prime minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made it clear that I no longer credibly enjoy that confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. This is Jody Wilson-Raybould 2.0. At least it's smelling a little bit like it. The only difference is, I think Jody Wilson-Raybould, other than being a progressive liberal, is actually a good person. Chrystia Freeland is a destroyer of Canada. She's an evil, awful, I think of the word that I can use that won't get me canceled. Person. Evil, awful. This is the evil, awful person, and there's a word for it, who froze the bank accounts gleefully, who basically subjected everyone to like terrorism enhanced verifications as a result of their participation in the trucker convoy. She's an evil, awful, horrible, horrid person. But Jody Wilson-Raybould, I do not believe is bad. Okay. Bottom line, though, something went down and it's getting ugly and now it's public. For the past number of weeks, you and I have found ourselves at odds about the best path forward for Canada. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. We need to take that threat extremely seriously. That means, by the way, we need to take it seriously, which means you don't seem to be taking it seriously. This is throwing Trudeau under the bus and getting ahead of the narrative so fast and so viciously. This highlights what a vicious itch-base she actually is. There, I said it in pig Latin, so that makes it not bad. That means keeping our fiscal powder dry today. So we have fiscal powder dry. Considering people think that Chrystia Freeland does a lot of coke with her twitchiness, she might not want to use fiscal powder dry. Keep your powder dry. So we have the reserves we may need for a coming tariff war. That means eschewing costly political gimmicks, like maybe that stupid bullshit tax credit. There's no GST and there's no government sales tax or sales tax on food, which there wasn't in the first place, which we can ill afford and make Canadian doubt that we recognize the gravity of the moment. That means pushing back against, quote, America first, end quote, economic nationalism, Wow, they really want to throw out that word nationalism. With a determined effort to fight for capital and investment and the jobs they bring. That means working in good faith and humility with the premiers of the provinces and territories of our great and diverse country and building a true Team Canada response. I know Canadians would recognize and respect such an approach. They know when we are working for them, and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. Ooh, she's calling him a selfish asshole. Inevitably, our time in government will come to an end, but how we deal with the threat our country currently faces will define us for a generation and perhaps longer. Canada will win if we are strong, smart, and united. You are weak, dumb, and divided, Justin Trudeau. It is this conviction which has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending in ways that will give us the flexibility we will need to meet the serious challenges presented by the United States. I will always be grateful for the whether after this entire big F you, you're weak, you're stupid, you're reckless, you're not taking things seriously. It is this conviction that has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending. I got that. I will always be grateful for the chance to have served in government, and I will always be proud of our government's work for Canada and Canadians. I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues as a Liberal member of Parliament, and I am committed to running again for my seat in Toronto in the next federal election. And there you have it, people. With gratitude, something that looks either like a race car, a rocket, something phallic, or just C, free. Oh, yeah. C and right to the F, the Honorable Chrystia Freeland. By the way, this is it right here. You see the little cursor? This is covering her corrupt ass because she knows that Trudeau is grotesquely unpopular in Canadian politics, will not survive a leadership challenge for the Liberal Party, and this is a big preemptive middle finger to Justin Trudeau while she tries to save her own ass in government and get ahead of what she knows is going to be the shit show that will come in the next federal election. Now, let me go see here, because I know that I've got some tweets on this. My theory, Freeland, is she's seeing the writing on the wall and resigning with an open letter. She saves face. I don't know if I'm allowed sharing that comment publicly to whomever sent it to me. I'm not reading that word. But that's it's there's no friends in politics. You want a friend in politics, get a dog. I forget who said that. But it's fantastic. But the bottom line, I have no idea what that noise was. Bottom line, the rats are jumping ship and the circular firing squad is commencing, and it is wonderful to watch. Chet Chisholm, who is my boy up in Nova Scotia, up in Canada. Old blackface elbowed the NDP MP in the boob after being challenged on the implementation and expansion of the MAID program. He threw a hissy fit when told to slow down killing the vulnerable. We need to go get that blast from the past here. Let's just go here. It was called Elbowgate. Elbowgate video. Touch her boob. I just got an ad for do not sell our house in Boca Raton, Florida, and the Boca Raton was quite clearly a targeted ad. Here we go. Elbowgate, people. So let me see if I can see where Herr Trudeau is. Right here. Right here. He gets angry. And then I think he's going to elbow this young lady in the breast milk devices, in the boob, in the titties, in the chest, in the breast gland, in the okay, whatever. Look at him. He's a king. Oh, boom, in the boob. And by the way, I'm told that hurts. I'm told that getting kicked in the vagina hurts as much as getting kicked in the balls, and getting elbowed in the titty also hurts. Look at him, like comes over like a freaking king. Boom. Ow. Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look at it. Look. Right. Oh no, now he's out. That's what's that guy's name? I forget his name. A bunch of freaking clowns is what it is. Let's just go back to here. Oh, where was it? Where was it? Here. Boom. Oh. Right there. That's your feminist, Justin Trudeau. Elbowgate. Okay, what do we got here? We got, this is not a feminist issue. This is the only good decision Justin Trudeau made. No, because what it quite clearly is things are falling apart within that government, and they're starting to blame each other for all of the problems that they currently face, and they're all starting to stab each other in the back because they are all a bunch of dirty, rotten scoundrels. Also, another great movie that everyone should watch. Congrats on her. Hold on, let me see this here. Let me bring this one up. Congrats on her resignation, Viva. It's a sign that things are falling apart, and it could have happened a lot earlier, but it didn't. All right, that's what's going on in Canada. Let me see what's going on over here. Do I go to Comitube? Do I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Viva. We got a hand, salt, and American flag from Caleb Lee. I don't know what that means, but hello to you as well. So before we head on over to Rumble, thank our sponsors yet again. 1775 Coffee, the wellness company. Check out the links in the description and support the companies that respect you as consumers and people. Let me go into the chat here. SVEA123 says Viva needs a, quote, coach's clicker and one of those screens to draw on, like live sports. That way he can rewind in slow-mo those clips and as much as he pleases. Look, I got my extra laptop now, so when I set it up and figure out how to do two screens, I'll get maximum efficiency. And Bill Brown says, no, he's your feminist, not mine. And In the Belfry says, if only Joey would take Justin out behind the schoolhouse and teach him a lesson. Oh, all right. Let me refresh over here and just see if there's any questions over on the Rumble side. Bart Kopp, what's the over-under for CNN going bankrupt? I can't imagine they last too much longer with their dwindling viewership. I mean, everything's going to go bankrupt eventually. Maybe they get bought out by Elon Musk. All right, excellent doing choice. Okay, what do we got here? Song, not doing a song. Excellent song choice. And Greg Ben says, yay, Freeland's almost as bad as Trudeau reported in several articles. Trudeau had told her Friday that he no longer wanted her to serve as finance minister and that he offered her another cabinet role. Yeah, that's what we got there. Oh, and A Patriot says that MMA guy should open his books up so we can see how he spends his money. Compared to most people on the planet, he is very wealthy, and I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate anyone else telling him how to spend it. Now, that's another fair point, but the bottom line is the government neglecting the homeless and their current local problems has nothing to do with lacking the finances to do it. Let us go over to Rumble, and then we'll have our locals after party, where we're going to talk about whether or not Candace Owens is a vile I'm saying it glibly, people. She won an award. I don't know who offers this award because they're all a bunch of... You have race-baiting hustlers, and you have religious baiting hustlers. You have hustlers, and I should call them grifters because it's the definition of grift. We're gonna end. Everyone migrate your way over, but the definition of a grifter is someone who foments petty strife in order to profit off of it. And I don't care. Anybody who calls me a grifter, you don't know what the difference between a grifter and a grafter. A grafter is someone who works hard and busts his ass to be value-added, accurate, educational, and not be right, but get it right. I am a grafter, not a grifter. But a grifter is someone who literally stokes petty strife so they can then profit from it. And it's like Barnes says, the criteria for a grifter is, are you talking about people or are you talking about ideas, and are you starting fights in order to capitalize off those fights, or are you exacerbating fights in order to capitalize off those fights? There's a rule in the ethics code for attorneys, and I think it goes something along the line as an attorney shall not inspect the books to then solicit litigation. Like, you don't go through registries and say, oh, you've got a contract, and then read the contract and say, oh, well, now I'm going to go contact the party because I'm going to make them fight over their contract. You're not supposed to do that. But some people get off on doing that on the internet. All right, so get your butts on over to Rumble. And if you're not, I'll see you tomorrow probably. I'm going to be solo parenting as of tomorrow. Also probably adding to a little bit of anxiety. Then I will be traveling back to Commie Canada. Maybe I'll go interview Chrystia Freeland. She'll never... Okay. Come on over to Rumble. If you're not coming over, I'll see you tomorrow. And then we'll have our locals after party afterwards. And what else? Viva, no one uses Buddha or Muhammad names, so try using their names for... I don't know what that's about. I'm not getting into any of those religious fights. My sister, she should be sent to jail. You definitely are a grifter, genocide supporting grifter, says Richard Ellis. Okay. By the way, ironic, because that's what you're doing right there, Richard. All right. he grows espalier. Go look up the definition of grafter, by the way. It's interesting. Okay, so everyone get your butts on over there, and if you're not coming, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to end this now on CommieTube, and it will end it, unfortunately, on Twitter as well. I'll put the entire stream up, probably on Viva Clips, or I'll just post this entire segment afterwards, which is probably more likely. Candace Owens awarded the award for, quote, Antisemite of the Year. Update stream